Good day, my friends. Um, as you can see, I've located a pair of reading glasses, so now I don't have a worry with my on-off button anymore. One problem solved in the world. I wish to do a brief talk on reclaiming our divine proportion. Now, I've seen quite a few videos and talks out there with regarding how to reclaim our birth certificate, our freedom as an external reality. But I haven't seen it addressed as an internal reality, because we must, in essence, be the balance between these two states, the external and the internal. Now there's great souls out there who are doing a lot of wonderful work on the ground with the paperwork, how and what to say, to reclaim that which was taken from us in the age of the fishes. Heather of the One People's Public Trust started the ball rolling with the paperwork being lodged on the 21st of December 2012. Wonderful souls like Max Egan constantly speaking out about what is going on in the external world and reclaiming our divine state. There are other great souls pushing forging ahead at this time, like Peter Eugene, all addressing more precisely and clearly how to reclaim our freedom on the ground as an external reality, so that we can move more freely within this world, within the earth plane. I wish to touch on the internal divine proportion. We must, in essence, become the goal that we seek. We must become divine beings. Our internal operating system has to be back fully in heart. We have to have triumphed over all inferior parts of self in order to arise to our radiant supreme Godhead. In this state, we become natural, responsible beings. There is no point in someone who is still immature and irresponsible to have freedom on the external when the internal has not been addressed, for this in itself will create chaos and havoc. Imagine someone who has the freedom to drive on the road as he wishes, without any responsibility internally. That cannot be. We must create the balance of divine, eternal essence as an internal state. We must return to becoming Christ consciousness. We must become shining, radiant, sun-centered, radiating outwards from a loving vibration. Then we are being responsible beings in the human flesh. Now, this will become much more a natural state in this great age, because everything in the age of Aquarius simply must come back into the balance, because this entire age is about balance and enlightenment, and the energy frequencies will be getting lighter and lighter and lighter and much more refined as we rise ever higher together. And the more we talk about all aspects of this divinity, externally and internally, this will have an absolute responsibility, because we will then have instant karma. Now, the beautiful thing about instant karma is you get to correct as you go along. In the past age, this could not be done because we were vibrating at a much slower vibration because of all the wrong thinking and doing which was occurring in this world. In that natural part of the cycle, I must add. It's a natural process, the dark before the light, in the great galactic cycle, as in our own personal rebirthing. To reclaim the divine proportion within ourselves, we have to let go of all that does not serve us well, all that served its purpose in awakening us, to then let it go. Once you realize that every painful situation, every hardship, every circumstance which appeared a tragedy, once it is seen and understood in its fullness that it served a great, great purpose to bring us back into alignment with our own soul, we must always be guided by our soul and not driven by our ego. This is where we are coming into. So much time was spent in the physical and material world without any kind of true time spent in the spiritual. Many paid and pay some kind of homage to dogma and religions without claiming it as an internal state. Humanity has fooled itself for so very, very, very long, and the price to be paid is always eventually awakening. When you awaken to the reality that your physical carriage is a temple, you will do nothing other than to treat this temple with full honor and respect. You will feed it with the right and powerful positive vibrations via thinking and food. Speaking of which, I don't know if you could hear my stomach rumbling there. I am getting to experience that at the moment because I have been on a raw vegetable juicing now since the 2nd of August 2012, and still I have many physical problems. I have a cataract behind that left eye. I have, you can't see because the sun's in there, but I have bleeding gums and a couple of loose teeth. I have a fracture in my vertebrae. And these things, none have been healing. None have gone away yet. Why? Because I have not given it 100% attention. I have only given it 80%. This is the responsibility I carry for my body. The more you become refined as a spiritual being, the more, universally speaking, you will not get away with abusing your body or your soul. Universally, you will be pushed into being total respect to your mind, body, and soul. Now, becoming divine proportion within self requires that your speech becomes a responsibility and should always be bringing forth the light within others. Not in the condemning, not in the blaming, not in any of that, but bringing forth, assisting, bringing forth the light within others. Your hearing should be attuned to nature. Your hearing should not be attuned to all that is wrong. Attuned to the fine nature of self and the external nature around you. Your sight should be attuned to a greater vision. Our hearts must be fully activated. Our bodies, as I've said, must be treated with honour and respect. Our spirit is the soul's expression of our divinity. The electricity, the electric magnetic field we are that accompany our physical bodies. Our soul has a purpose. We simply have to master it. And in time, we become the embodiment of love, light, and truth, absolute, and serve. So I thank you for listening. As I said, I would just keep that short. Now I can't find my glasses to find the button. Oh dear. Oh dear. She said she would find her glasses. There we go. So, namaste. Go out and serve. That is our purpose. To be of service to self and to be of service to each other.